Imagine boarding a routine domestic flight, expecting to reach your destination in a few hours, only to be engulfed in a catastrophic inferno mid-air. This was the horrifying reality for the passengers of China Northern Airlines Flight 6136 on May 7, 2002. In a chilling act of deliberate arson, a passenger turned the cabin into a deadly trap, leading to one of China's most harrowing aviation disasters. Join us as we delve into the heart-wrenching details of this tragic flight, uncovering the shocking motive behind the fire and the devastating aftermath that changed aviation security forever. On the morning of May 7, 2002, preparations for China Northern Airlines Flight 6136 were underway at Beijing Capital International Airport. The McDonnell Douglas MD-82 aircraft was meticulously inspected, fueled, and readied for its routine journey to Dalian. Passengers began to board, some chatting excitedly about their plans, while others settled into their seats, anticipating a smooth flight. The flight crew, experienced and professional, conducted their pre-flight checks, ensuring all systems were operational. China Northern Airlines, established in 1990, was a prominent regional airline headquartered in Shenyang, China. Operating primarily within the northeastern provinces of the country, the airline was known for connecting key cities such as Shenyang, Dalian, and Harbin with the rest of China. With a fleet composed mainly of McDonnell Douglas aircraft, China Northern Airlines aimed to provide reliable and efficient service to its passengers. In 2002, the airline merged with other regional carriers to form China Southern Airlines, becoming part of one of the largest airline networks in the country. Beijing Capital International Airport, the bustling gateway to China's capital, is one of the world's busiest and most vital aviation hubs. Located 32 kilometers northeast of Beijing's city center, this expansive airport boasts 3 terminals, each equipped with state-of-the-art facilities to handle a massive influx of domestic and international travelers. Since its opening in 1958, the airport has continuously expanded and modernized, embodying China's rapid economic growth and technological advancement. China Northern Airlines Flight 6136 was scheduled to travel from Beijing Capital International Airport to Dalian Zhoushuizi International Airport, covering a distance of approximately 440 kilometers. The flight path took the aircraft in a northeastern direction, typically lasting around 1 hour and 20 minutes. The aircraft involved was a McDonnell Douglas MD-82 with registration B2138 and serial number 49522, built in 1991 with approximately 27,000 flight hours. According to Yang Yuanyuan of the General Administration of Civil Aviation of China, it had a perfect maintenance record following a routine check. The aircraft had been hijacked twice before in 1993, both times to Taipei, Taiwan, with Fuzhou as the original destination. On November 12th, while flying from Changchun to Fuzhou, 2 Chinese men hijacked the plane with scalpels and a fake bomb, demanding to be flown to Taiwan. The plane landed safely in Taipei, and all 82 on board survived. On December 8th, while flying from Qingdao to Fuzhou, a Chinese man hijacked the plane, stabbing a flight attendant and claiming to have a bomb. The aircraft landed safely in Taipei, and all 137 on board survived. No bomb was found on either occasion. The flight crew of China Northern Airlines Flight 6136 was composed of experienced and skilled professionals. Leading the flight was Captain Wang Yongxiang, born in 1967, who brought an impressive record of over 11,000 total flying hours to the cockpit. Assisting him as the second in command was First Officer Chen Xiuming, born in 1973, who had accrued more than 3,300 hours of flight experience. Rounding out the team was Flight Engineer Pan Mincy, who had logged a substantial 4,180 hours of flying time. The flight crew of China Northern Airlines Flight 6136 consisted of 9 individuals, all of whom were Chinese nationals. Of the 103 passengers on board China Northern Airlines Flight 6136, the majority, 96 individuals, were Chinese nationals. Additionally, the flight included 3 Japanese passengers, reflecting the international nature of the journey. The remaining 4 passengers hailed from diverse global backgrounds, with 1 each from France, Iran, Singapore, and South Korea, highlighting the international reach and connectivity provided by the airline. The passenger manifest revealed that 100 of the individuals were adults, while 3 were children, adding a poignant note to the tragedy. A significant number of the passengers were residents of Dalian, likely returning home or traveling for business and personal reasons. At 2022 local time, China Northern Airlines Flight 6136 departed from its assigned boarding gate at Beijing Capital International Airport. After taxiing to runway 36R, the aircraft commenced its takeoff at 2037 local time, 1237 UTC, beginning its journey towards Dalian Zhoushuizi International Airport. "40 minutes after takeoff, the aircraft stabilized at an altitude of 32,000 feet, with the destination runway not far ahead. At this moment, the pilots in the cockpit were busy preparing for the landing process. Immediately after landing, they would embark on another flight in the opposite direction. The pilots prepared meticulously because Dalian Zhoushuizi International Airport, located in Liaoning Province, was bustling with continuous domestic takeoffs and landings. In the cabin, passengers were seizing the opportunity to catch a nap before landing. Meanwhile, the flight attendants were resting but remained alert throughout the journey. With a short domestic flight and basic services, there wasn't much to note, and the atmosphere was serene. The pilots had completed their landing preparations, but had yet to initiate the landing process as they awaited instructions from Air Traffic Control, ATC. Meanwhile, at the rear of the aircraft, a passenger was exhibiting unusual behavior that went unnoticed by everyone. The passenger in question is Zhang Pilin. On that particular evening, the flight had a considerable number of vacant seats, with the last 3 rows of seats occupied solely by Zhang Pilin. He chose to sit in the last seat on the left side, adjacent to the window. This seat location was usually avoided during check-in due to excessive noise from the engines. However, the reason behind Zhang Pilin's choice of this seat remained unknown to others. While everyone was deeply asleep, Zhang Pilin began to act. He took out a bottle of gasoline from his backpack, disguised within an ordinary water bottle. There were still 2 more bottles in his backpack. He poured gasoline onto the cabin floor and used a matchbox to ignite the fire. No one understood why the airport security team allowed these deadly bottles of gasoline to slip through and board the aircraft. With no smoke detection system on the plane, the pilots remained unaware of the serious situation unfolding at the rear of the aircraft. Smoke from the fire spread throughout the cabin, jolting passengers awake. They were deeply alarmed, with many rushing towards the front of the aircraft due to the overwhelming smoke at the rear. The flight attendants attempted to ascertain the situation at the rear of the aircraft, but no one could approach due to the thick smoke. Everyone had to utilize oxygen masks for breathing. At this point, the pilots had realized the severity of the situation. The captain made an emergency call to the Dalian Airport's Air Traffic Control, ATC, requesting permission for an emergency landing. ATC agreed and directed them to descend to 8,000 feet and proceed towards Bohai Bay to approach the runway for landing at Dalian Airport. At this moment, Zhang Pilin had become unconscious due to the smoke, while the fire continued to intensify and spread downwards beneath the cabin floor. Beneath this floor lies the crucial tail control system, vital for maneuvering the aircraft. Additionally, for the McDonnell Douglas MD-82, due to the engine placement on the fuselage, there are numerous fuel lines underneath this floor as well. All of these factors combine to create a dangerously close and life-threatening situation. While the pilots were attempting to descend to the designated altitude for landing, the autopilot suddenly disengaged. Sensing the seriousness of the situation, the pilots intensified their efforts to land as quickly as possible.
Bank angle, bank angle, bank angle, bank angle, bank angle, bank angle, bank angle.
Switching to manual control, the pilots realized that the tail control system was extremely difficult to maneuver, posing significant challenges in redirecting the aircraft. In fact, at this point, the fire had attacked the tail control system, rendering it nearly incapacitated. Meanwhile, the aircraft's computer continuously displayed warnings regarding hydraulic, fuel, and electrical systems. The pilots fought with the steering wheel as things got crazy on the plane, but it seemed like they couldn't really control what was happening. The plane was facing a really tough situation. Chaos spilled into the cabin. Some passengers screamed for help, while others passed out from smoke inhalation. A while later, the tail control was completely paralyzed, and the airplane's computer system was malfunctioning. Everything had spiraled out of control. China Northern Airlines Flight 6136 vanished from the radar and ceased communication with air traffic control. The plane crashed into the water at a steep bank angle of 90 degrees and a nose-down pitch of 30 degrees, resulting in the loss of all lives on board. Witnesses reported seeing the aircraft make multiple circles before abruptly diving into the sea with its lights off. Following the tragic crash of China Northern Airlines Flight 6136, the Chinese government swiftly initiated an investigation into the incident. A special panel, including officials from various government departments and the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, of the United States, was dispatched to Dalian to lead the inquiry. Initial suspicions pointed towards an in-flight fire as the likely cause of the crash, supported by the crew's distress call and witness testimonies. The discovery of a severely burnt food cart at the crash site further strengthened this theory. Provincial reports suggested that a short circuit might have sparked the fire. The investigation's findings, released by Xinhua News Agency, revealed that a passenger named Zhang Pilin had deliberately started the fire using gasoline, resulting in the loss of control and subsequent crash. Zhang had purchased multiple air insurance policies before boarding the flight, raising suspicions of premeditated intent. Wreckage examination indicated the presence of gasoline near Zhang's seat and confirmed carbon monoxide inhalation as the cause of death for most passengers. Further investigation uncovered Zhang's activities leading up to the flight, including purchasing insurance policies and possessing gasoline-filled water bottles. It was revealed that Zhang, a married man with a son, operated his own company and was heavily in debt. Due to Zhang's deliberate act of arson, insurance companies refused to provide almost 200,000 USD compensation, leaving Zhang's family without any financial support.